What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at two Afnan fragrances. We're taking a look at Afnan 9pm Rebel and Afnan 9pm Dive. Let's start first with Afnan Rebel. Let's take a look at the bottle very quickly. It's the same 9pm DNA we know and love, except with a very red and beautiful looking bottle. It's an aggressive looking bottle. Let's take a sniff of this. So when I first smell this, I immediately start thinking about the comparisons people make for this fragrance to other fragrances. So a lot of people say this smells a lot like this, Kaira Forsang. I don't think it smells a lot like this, but to me, this smells a lot more like this. Supremacy Collector's Edition. The immediate hit that you get is a very juicy and citrusy pineapple. So that's like an orange pineapple mix. That's very sweet and very juicy, very wet smelling. You know what I mean? Like you're just biting into a very, very juicy pineapple. It's very, 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 very summery, very, very, very refreshing, but also deep enough and luxurious enough that it's not super bright. It's darker than your bright citrusy scent. This has a lot of darkness in it and a lot of woodiness in it and a lot of green notes in it that takes that brightness of that pineapple and kind of bases it, pulls it down to make it a lot more, I think what I would call it a lot more grounded, a lot less bright than your typical summer scent. This is a sexier summer scent. This is a sexier juicy scent, not a full bright, a full happy bright scent. This is more sexy. This is more smoky. Not smoky as in smoke, more like smoky as in sultry, a sultry scent. I see the immediate comparison to this, but their DNA is subtly different enough that this is a little bit brighter. This is a little bit more juicy, a little bit sweeter, a little bit more playful than this, which is, I think, a little bit more sophisticated. I think this is a little bit younger, a little bit more sexy. The notes for this scent are, the top notes are mandarin, pineapple, and Granny Smith apple. The middle notes are cedarwood, oak moss, and vanilla. And then the heart notes are caramel, dry woods, ambergris, and musk. You're definitely getting that mandarin and pineapple. I don't really get the apple note, but the other two is definitely there, definitely present. The middle note of cedarwood and oak moss are definitely there, and that vanilla is just adding additional sweetness to this. And that's all very present here. The caramel is also very present, adding that sweetness. I think overall, you're getting a lot of wood, you're getting a lot of sweetness, but the most overriding note is 100% that juiciness from that pineapple and that mandarin. That is very juicy, that is very crisp and beautiful. As this dries down with time, that juiciness kind of dies down a little bit, and then that sweetness comes in a little bit more. It kind of mellows out a little bit more, and then that woodiness also comes in a little bit more, and it turns a little bit closer to this. So that woodiness becomes the central note. You become a central note of wood, surrounded by sweetness, surrounded by the pineapple and the orange. So instead of orange and pineapple being the center of it, it becomes woody, the center of it, surrounded by everything else. So it becomes a little bit more mature. So it starts young and then it grows up into something a little bit more mature, a little bit more sophisticated. It's very daytime friendly, but also aggressive enough and lively enough to make it a nighttime playful scent. It's like a sugar rush of sweetness. It's very nice. I really, really like this. This is definitely a scent that I would gravitate towards. This is my kind of freshie, which is a freshie that has enough sugar and enough interest to make it not a boring freshie. I really like this a lot. In terms of longevity and projection, this lasts a really long time on me. On skin for the first 2 hours, it's about 4 to 6 feet projection, and then it starts dying down after hour 2 or 3, and then it turns into like a 1 foot projector, maybe 2 feet, and turns into a skin set, I think, by hour 5. But on clothes, it stays pretty strong and it stays all day. I think this is a winner on clothes. This is a moderate on skin. It's a great, great scent. Very good performance, very good scent. I think overall, I think this is a 10-10-10 for me. Honestly, if I compare these two brothers and sisters together, to me, this one kind of beats it just because of my tastes. This is sweeter. This is more my alley than this. This is more sophisticated, 100%, but this to me is more my play. This is more my style. So honestly, out of both of them, I would prefer this. Let's move on to the second scent that we're going to review today. Let's move on to 9pm Dive. Let's take a sniff of this and then let's talk about the bottle. When you smell it, originally, to me, for moi, this is giving detergent. Unfortunately, this is very, very clean smelling. This is very, very body washy, very, very blue. You know, that blue scent that a lot of perfumes have. It stays it's very tasteful, very clean, very fresh out of the shower, but also kind of leans detergent, kind of leans fresh laundry smell. It's not bad, but it's really not good. And it's one of these scents that has such an artificial clean smell to me that it almost triggers a migraine, but I think it gets better with dry down. The bottle is just the same as the others. It's the 9 p.m. DNA you know and love, except that it has this bright blue, sky blue color. It's very pretty. I love the way these look one next to the other on a shelf. This one, and the black one looks really good together. I think they look great. If you're getting the whole collection together, this looks really good together. And Afnan pretty much kills it most of the time with their scents. I'm just like particular with the specific things I like or don't like. Before we get to the dry down, let's talk about the notes. But before we even get to that, I would appreciate it if you liked, comment, and subscribed. It really helps out my channel. The top notes for this are lemon, mint, blackcurrant, and pink pepper. The middle notes are apple, cedar, and incense. And then the base notes are ginger, sandalwood, patchouli, and jasmine. When I smell this all the way through dry down, that soapiness never really goes away. You get a lot of citrusiness. You get a lot of bright citrus mint top, but supported with a lot of soapiness. So it's very Irish Springs, very soapy, very body washy, very I just took a bath kind of thing. Great for AM, great for jobs, great for work. It's very clean boy aesthetic. It's great for that. I don't know if it's a very good going out scent. I think it's a more daytime, obviously AM, daytime work appropriate type of thing. And I would use it sparingly because it's very strong. Is it my style? Not necessarily. In terms of projection and longevity, this is a moderate projector. It's just like a body wash, right? A body wash is not meant to project a lot. So this doesn't take over a room, but it projects moderately. So it's maybe like 4 feet to start, and then it stays down to like 1 foot after hour 2 or 3, and then it keeps projecting throughout the day. It never turns into a pure skin scent. It's like a very strong body wash. Overall, these are not my favorite type of scents. I think soapy scents are probably my least favorite type of scents, but it's a decent scent if you're looking for soapy. This is great. This is very good for that. This is a very good body washy smell. And I think this would be great for after gym. This would be perfect for after exercise. This would be a great scent to cover up any weirdness. Not my vibe personally. Out of these two, I'm definitely picking this one over this one, but they're both very good scent. They're both very good quality. I think this one to me would be 7 or 6 in scent, 9 in performance. This one is definitely a 10, 10, 10. So overall, I prefer this one over this one. But Afnan doesn't really fail when it comes to scents. Let me know what you guys think. Which one is your favorite? Are you a PM rebel, or are you a person that dives into the unknown? Remember, the scents are subjective. What I like isn't necessarily something you'll like. And always remember to smell your best. See ya.